it's Kia here from Kia Creates, bringing you journal inspiration, stickers and playful creativity. We are back, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while, so thanks for your patience with me. Grab a cosy drink, I've got a cup of tea, but whatever you want. Let's have a little chat about one of my favourite things, which is collecting ephemera for your travel journal or travel scrapbook, art journal, junk journal, whatever you want to call it. It's just so much fun to me to go on a trip and like go into magpie mode, you know, you're just looking for paper ephemera. Everywhere you go, every activity you do, it's like, how can we turn this into something we can collect for? Like, we're going for lunch. Does this place have a paper menu or a leaflet I can take? Oh, we've been to a nice shop. Let's see if they have a business card. Grabbing postcards. Oh, an activity where you get a paper ticket for it. Perfect. I just love that because for me, like, journaling is always, well, there's a kind of double enjoyment of the actual process of journaling, and then looking back on the memories that you collected and remembering all the details. You kind of have the present and then like the future, looking back on the past as an enjoyment of the journal. But then when you're on a trip and you're collecting ephemera, you get like a third strand of this enjoyment, which is the actual collecting. I feel like it satisfies that gatherer urge in me. And I know I'm not alone because I know there's lots of you like this. I love that trending sound on Instagram and TikTok where it's like, I'm the trash man. Hopefully you've seen what I mean. I'll probably post about collecting trash or junk for this video with that sound, so if you haven't seen it you'll know what I mean. But it's like people saying I need this for my journal and they're collecting little scraps of like wrapping paper or tickets or receipts or whatever it is. I just love that idea that we're all out here like collecting little bits that, let's be honest, would normally just go in the bin, so we're all doing a great job of recycling. But yeah, I feel like I have the enjoyment of my trip, exploring wherever we are. I love seeing new places, I love going out doing activities. Then I get the enjoyment on top of that of trying to find paper ephemera from those places. Then the enjoyment of actually sticking it in a journal, and you get that lovely creative process, like in the zone feeling that you get from journaling, where you just cut in and stick in and there's nothing else you'd rather be doing. And then you get the lovely thing of looking back on those pages and like all of those little scraps, you remember collecting them, you remember what you were doing when you got them, where you were, who you were with, and you get to like read the memories. Or even if you don't write anything, I mean, I write down quite a few memories alongside those scraps, but I think even if you kept scraps and photos and you're someone who doesn't really want to write in your journal, they would bring back more memories than you think. There's just something so nice about looking back in a journal and being like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. So collecting ephemera is one of the ways that I do that. So as you can see, there are like 4 different reasons why I just get really excited about collecting ephemera from a place. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a handful of spreads that I made on a trip to Lille in France with my family at the end of last year. It was kind of Christmassy, like we went to Christmas markets, it was really festive and nice. Hopefully you don't mind seeing some festive journal spreads now, even though we're in spring. I'm sure there's other examples in past journals of times where I've collected ephemera from trips, and maybe I've used it in a more aesthetically pleasing way, and that would be nice to see. But there was something about this trip in particular that felt like it was an ephemera collecting adventure. I think it's because I knew that we were only there for like 3 or 4 days. I kind of made it my mission to see how much I could collect. We've talked a little bit before about like when I travel journal. Sometimes I journal on the holiday, sometimes I journal when I got back. There's different, I don't really have like one specific process, it depends on the trip. For this one, I collected everything and then I journaled with it all when I got home. That was really nice. In the past, I've filled a whole journal while I was on the trip. Like there's a flip through of my Wales journal, I think from a few years ago, and that was one where like everything I collected on the trip I used while I was there and filled up that journal basically before I got home. On our trip to Lanzarote, I filled a whole journal in one day on the day we got back, or the day after we got back, and that was like a very different process. So if you're interested in that one, you can have a look at that video. I share the ephemera that I collected there in that video and show you how I used it and how I kind of spread it out to fill this whole journal in one day. It would be really nice if I had like one specific process that I follow every time and I can just be like, hey, here's my step by step, but it really just depends. So for this Lille journal, I collected a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to show you like 4 different kind of types of spread that I would usually make with ephemera, or like make some iteration of. So there's kind of like what I think of as the introductory spread, which is any ephemera that has like the picture of the place we're visiting or the name of the place we're visiting, and it's just like a collage or a little title page almost of the ephemera that visually represents that place as like a title page. Hopefully this makes sense. You'll see when we make it. Then the most common spread that I would make is like the spread is based around a specific date or a specific time period. So it's ephemera that I collected from that day, so like where we ate for lunch and dinner, the activity we did, it's all in one. Kind of the one that makes the most sense. The one that I would do most often on trips is basically a travel diary or a travel scrapbook. It's chronological, it's things that go together because you collected them on the same day. Then there's a spread that I don't make as often, but it depends on the ephemera that I've collected, that's more like I've gathered that ephemera, not because it was from the same specific location or the same day, but more because it has like the same aesthetic vibe. There was a lot of places in Lille that were like very ornate shop fronts, gold, filigree, cute pastries or chocolates, and all of their ephemera felt really fancy, you'll see. So I feel like for those, rather than just be like we went here on this day, we went here on this day, I collected things that felt like they went together visually, so I can make a spread about that like aesthetic. So that's kind of the third type of spread. And then the fourth, which is just fun to do because you don't have to think about it, is like a smashbook page, a junk dump, if you will. So it's just all of the other stuff you have left that you don't know what to do with, or if you just want to do this for every trip because it's easy and fun and quick, and why not, it's just gluing junk bits of stuff all over the page, not explaining it, not grouping it, not organising it, just sticking everything you've got into one place. And that's always really fun and great if you're like not sure what to do, or you feel like, I collected loads of stuff and I was going to do it when I got back, but then time's running out, which always seems to happen. Like I've got travel journals that I haven't finished from literally years ago. I'm looking at this one, my Costa Rica journal. When did we go to Costa Rica? We went to Costa Rica in 2019. We went for 2 weeks, I think, and then I got up to day 9 and then the rest of it's empty. Sometimes it happens, it's okay if you haven't finished your travel journal, but a junk dump is a good way to do that. Do you know what, maybe I should take the rest of the junk that I've got for this and just do a junk dump page to finish it off, because I kept thinking I would go back and write about every day, but I didn't. Anyway, that's a tangent, but we're going to make those kind of 4 types of spreads today. I'll show you the ephemera I collected from Lille, and because when you see like a ticket or a leaflet, to you it's just a ticket or a leaflet, but to me it is that memory, it's that place that I went to, it's the thing that we did, it's like much more than just a piece of paper. I wanted to kind of try to convey that and do this in almost like a little mini travel vlog style. Well, it's not really a travel vlog because they're just snippets. Basically every piece of ephemera that you see me use in these pages, I'll try to put in a little clip relevant to like where I got it from, or explain to you a bit more what it is and the memory that it holds for me. I just thought that would be a nice way to do things, so let me know if you like that. So we'll go on to making those pages now. We'll chat through making them. If you already have your own like travel journaling kind of style, then this might seem really obvious to you. Feel free to, if you just want to see what pages I'm making and you don't want to hear about it, just mute me, put it on double speed, have a little gander at the pages. I won't be offended, it's okay. But I feel like I keep seeing more people getting into junk journaling recently, and there's quite a few people kind of gatekeeping how it should be done, and I just want to show you this is how I do it. There are different ways that I do it. I don't do it the same way every time. It's fun, there's no rules, and like you can take bits of how I do it if you like that idea, or you can just do it completely differently. That's the great thing with journaling, there's no rules, there's no right or wrong. So this is how I've collected ephemera and memories and put them into a journal, and feel free to do it your way. Hopefully you find it interesting. Let's start with the big bag of ephemera that I collected, have a little rifle through there, and then we'll start making the pages together. Let's go! So here it is, the big bag of ephemera. The actual bag itself is a gift bag from the chocolate shop that you're going to see in this video, and basically I've just dumped all of the ephemera in here. I think sometimes it would be a good idea to organise it by day. I've seen people organise their ephemera from trips into little envelopes that are dated, and I think that's such a good idea, so I'm going to do that next time. But for now we just have this big bunch. I'm making these pages in my winter journal challenge journal. There's lots of videos about this journal on my channel if you want to have a little look. And we're going to start with the introduction pages, so the sort of title ephemera. This is the Meert, I don't know if that's how you say it, chocolate shop in Lille, and it's so fancy and just incredible. The interior of the shop is basically like a museum. Like I was just walking around like, wow. So of course all of the ephemera was as fancy as all of the chocolates and things that are on sale in the shop, so I was very excited about that. I didn't even get any chocolate, but I did get this book, which I'm very excited about. It's a fancy book with really thick paper, really thick, nice paper, and really nice detailed illustrations of the like interior of the shop and places around Lille, real and imagined. The little kitchens in the shop, the tea room, just so cute. And I was like, this is expensive. I can't remember now how much it was, but way too much for what it is. But I was like, you can bet I am ripping some pages out of this and I'm sticking them in my journal. And I know that's probably horrible to some people, but to me, that is what it is for. And that's why this illustration of Lille from this book is going to be the first thing that I stick down onto this ephemera title page, along with another illustration from a menu leaflet from a restaurant that put all of its menu leaflets outside in a little copper pan on this cobbled alleyway, which for some reason feels so French to me. But I thought it was really cute. This is the restaurant and the little courtyard that it's in, and the menu of the restaurant had an illustration of this courtyard and the buildings around it. And I thought it looked so nice and like it really encapsulated the vibes of the nice buildings in Lille. So I was like, yep, this is going onto the title page as well. The first illustration I'm just going to stick straight down to the page, but the second one I just wanted to do something interactive with it, so I'm going to fold over one side and just stick the side down so that it can be a little flap instead of sticking it straight to the page, especially because I like the brown paper underneath, so I didn't want to cover all of that up. Inside the flap, I'm adding this, which is a label from a can of kombucha I had at a really nice pizza place. We went for lunch, that was yummy pizza. I just thought it was a pretty label to keep. And really, the only thing that makes this feel like a title page is those two illustrations of Lille that I stuck down to begin with, because the rest of the ephemera that I use for this spread is pretty random. It's just stuff I kept and thought it would be nice to use on this one. Like on the right hand page are just some doodles that I did of some buildings in Lille. I doodled them onto a translucent envelope while I was travelling back, so I've just stuck that down to the page as well. I'm hinging this flap with some washi tape, just cutting off the excess. And yeah, the rest of the spread is just going to be random bits. There's another little piece of ephemera I put on from a bakery and then some stickers, and that's how simple it is really. As long as I've just got some pictures of the places on there, it feels like I've introduced it. I did make this a few months ago. Oh, there's the little packet from the chocolate at the bakery. This was a really nice bakery we went to for breakfast. Look at it, it's so nice and so French. And I had a croque monsieur for there. That was delicious. I also kept this napkin, which you'll see later on. Here's the little packet in the wild, and here it is in the spread. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that basically I made this a few months ago. Now I'm looking at it with the kind of way that my journal style has evolved even in this short time. I'm like, damn, I really wish I did some like little ransom note letters to write Lille across the top. I might have to go back and do that because I feel like that would be really cute as a title. But anyway, here is how it looks with the stickers, with the doodles, some more little things I stuck down, and some washi tape to border it. Next, let's make a spread with ephemera all gathered from one particular day, like a diary style sort of page, starting with a coaster, which is a memory of this craft beer place that we went for drinks. I thought the coaster was really pretty, and with a lot of thick cardboard ephemera that I want to stick in my journal, like a postcard or whatever, I usually try to peel it, and one side of this peeled really nice, one side was not a perfect peel, so I kind of combined the two, you'll see. But this page is going to be about our first day, which was, well, our first evening, I guess, which was exploring the Christmas market and then going for drinks after at this bar. So I started by sticking these two bits of coaster down onto this. The right hand page is like gift wrap that I got from the Warner Brothers studio tour. It's like all of the book covers from like any books from Harry Potter or like the Wizarding World, and I just thought it looked nice and festive. So this has nothing to do with the day that we had, but I thought it was cute in here. So I stuck down some stickers around that coaster, and we had mulled wine at this beautiful festive market, so of course I put like a little mulled cider sticker it was. Here's the market, here's all of the stalls. It was just so pretty and so festive, and just, oh, it's given me all of the Christmas memories to look back at this. So here's a little look at some of the stalls. I just wanted to give you an idea of the memories that I'm trying to capture. So even though it's just going to be a few little bits of ephemera stuck to a spread, it has all of these memories intertwined, including our nice burgers at the market, which you just saw, and the little paper that came from the burgers. And then we also went on this Ferris wheel, which was like definitely one of my highlights of the trip because it was massive, and I'm not normally that scared of heights or anything, but I was actually pretty scared on this because it was just like huge. I could not believe how high up we were. It was beautiful views of Lille. It was definitely worth it. And of course, what made me extra happy was that we got these really nice paper tickets. The people did try to take the tickets off us afterwards, and my sisters flew in French, and I was like, please tell them I need it for my scrapbook. I was like begging her to tell the people I needed the paper ticket for my scrapbook. So whatever she said worked because they let me have it. So thanks, Holly, for that. Sorry for bringing you into my desperate scrapbooking situations. I always say scrapbooking because I feel like in other places they don't really know what you mean by journaling, but scrapbooking they get it a bit more. I also stuck down the little piece of napkin that you saw earlier, and then some stickers, and then I just decided to fill in the gaps with writing, which I didn't like. So as you'll see, I covered up the writing and I redid it because I realised there was way too much to write about that day, and I'd started writing way too big and I needed to write a little bit smaller. So here's the replacement writing with just a little explanation of what each piece of ephemera was, the memory it had from that day, and then of course some of my little doodles and dots to decorate the rest of the page. Before we talk about this next spread, let's take a moment to look at this bakery's ginormous chandelier. Just the usual chandelier size for a bakery, as you do. As you can see, this bakery was also very fancy. It had the same vibe to me as the chocolate shop. It had really cute little menus for their cakes, which I of course took a couple of, and I want to make a spread that kind of has the aesthetic of this bakery, the chocolate shop. And then I also had a little sticker that I found at one of the stalls at the Christmas market that kind of had this like fancy, ornate, old-fashioned vibe to it, so that's going to be added in here as well. The cakes we got from here, by the way, they're called like Merveilleux, sorry for my accent. They're a kind of a specialty of this area of France and of Belgium as well. They're like cake with meringue in and chocolate on it and different flavors, and I'm not normally like a sweet snack person. Like I'd rather have crisps or some sort of savory snack, but they were delicious, they were so nice, so I definitely rate these. So this spread is like a celebration of those delicious cakes, but it's also a coming together of my collection of ephemera that's like ornate, fancy, detailed, reminds me of all of the buildings in Lille, the like just the fanciness. I know I keep saying fancy, but that is the word of like the chocolate shop and the bakery in particular. So that's what this spread is all about. I used the napkin to make a background. The menu to me kind of looked a little bit like a bookmark shape, so I cut the ribbon off the gift bag from the chocolate shop, added it to the top of the menu, and then made like a little clear pocket to put that in. I used the illustration from the fancy book from the chocolate shop on the background. I even cut out the symbol that was on the gift bag. I'm trying to just use everything here, and then I will actually shut up in a minute and just kind of let you watch me make the rest of this because I know I've been talking for nearly 20 minutes now. But yeah, I was just going to mention that I cut out from the second menu that I got all of the little cakes and then just used them kind of like stickers to dot them around, and I thought it looked really cute. And then of course I doodled all over it, which you'll see in a moment. And here we are, this is how the finished spread looks. It's incredibly detailed and maximalist, which is what I was going for, so I'm very pleased with it. I feel like it has the same vibe as the chocolate shop and the bakery in that I just want to like look at it for a long time, which is how I felt when I walked into those shops. So I feel like I've done it justice, and I'm really pleased with how I used the ephemera in this one, so hopefully you like that too. Once I'd made those spreads, I felt like I'd captured the things I wanted to capture. I'd used the ephemera that I had an idea for, and then I was left with all of these other little bits and bobs and memories. And previously maybe I would have felt pressured to write about all of those, but now I'm realising that that doesn't have to be. Like when I've pressured myself to write or make a spread about every single little thing we've done on a trip, it has just gone unfinished, as you saw with the Costa Rica journal. So the smashbook page is a very nice solution for that. You just gather up all of the ephemera that you have left, stick it on a page. You can write notes about it if you want, or you could do what I did, which is give no explanation. To me, I remember it when I look at it, so it makes sense. To you, it's a bunch of junk, but to me, it's a bunch of memories. So then I just stuck it all down, filled in the gaps with some doodles, and there we go. Smashbook page complete. So I definitely recommend this one if you want like a really low pressure way, just something to do with all of the stuff you gathered, but you don't really have to like put much effort into it. I can definitely imagine myself making more of these, like more often on upcoming trips, because they are just so fun and easy. But here's how it looks finished. I'm going to just take you back through the pages we've made so far, a little close up and a look at all of those finished. And then if you're interested, I also have a few travel journal pages that I made with ephemera collected from my trip to Italy that I've just shared at the end of this video. So if you're interested in seeing those as well, just hang around and you'll be able to see them in a moment. So those are my Lille travel journal pages and all of the ephemera I collected for them, how I turned it into a journal spread. I hope you found it interesting. Since filming that and being in the process of editing this, I don't know why this one in particular has taken me so long, but I've just been like doing it in little snippets. I've been to Italy on a skiing holiday, which was great, and I also collected ephemera there and did some travel journaling there, but I didn't feel like I had enough to make a whole video out of that. So since we were talking about collecting ephemera and turning it into travel journal spreads, I thought I would kind of add this into this video. So all of the spreads that you'll see in this flip through I made while I was on the holiday, a little bit different to Lille where I made it when I got back. I don't know if that makes a difference to how they look visually. You'll have to be the judge of that. Hopefully you like these. Let's have a little look through now. This first page is sort of a title page with like pictures of the area and the Dolomites. I kind of have that urge again to go back and put a ransom note title with the name of the place at the start. I also did like a second kind of title page with Welcome to the Mountains, where my silver pen leaked all over the page, but I just kind of went with it because it sort of looked icy. I have a random spread about seeing a goat on a mountain, so I found any kind of slightly goat related pictures or ephemera from the leaflets that I picked up to make that page. If you ever think you don't have something to journal about, just think about me making a whole spread about seeing one goat. There's always something to journal about. Then we have quite a few spreads that are like diary page, like chronological order ephemera spreads, breadstick packets, business cards from restaurants we visited, stickers I found on lampposts and peeled them off, sorry not sorry, little drawings that my mum did, bits from leaflets that I picked up around the mountain and in like tourist information centres. So I just kept going with those as and when I picked stuff up. And I have a few kind of like collage spreads of just pictures I thought were visually nice, like a kind of aesthetic spread, I guess. And some photos I printed out. I used a page from a magazine to just make this little flap so I could stick some pictures down. These were just photos I liked from a magazine, again, just thought they had a nice aesthetic. And then this is kind of a smashbook page with the things I had left, which was a ski map, a beer label, just the title of the place, and a little piece from a napkin. So there we go, there's a little look at how I collect ephemera and how I've used it in my journal for my Lille trip and my Italy trip. For the purposes of YouTube being YouTube, I've kind of labelled this as like a how I use ephemera in my journal. But as we've discussed, there is no one way, it changes every time. So I have other trips coming up that I would like to kind of document a little bit more of the ephemera I collect, like I did with the Lille one, like the memories attached to each piece of ephemera in more of a vlog style. I'm especially excited to do that for our trip to Japan because I already know I'm going to be in ephemera heaven there. Like, you can collect stamps, they have so many stickers and tickets, and oh, I could probably do a whole video of like me talking for 30 minutes about how excited I am about specifically stationery and ephemera in Japan, never mind all the other good stuff. So I'm very much looking forward to that, but what I'm trying to say is this isn't the definitive how I collect and use ephemera in my travel journal video. This is how I used it for those trips. So if you found this interesting, you're in luck, because I'm going to continue to document and share my travel journaling and ephemera collecting process with you. I also have a partly edited video from a trip to York where I collected fun ephemera and made some fun journal spreads with it, which those ones aren't completely finished. My life is a series of unfinished projects. Hopefully you can relate. If you would find it interesting, I can get around to editing that one and share that one with you as well. Just let me know if you like this. I have a billion unfinished videos that I'm trying to get done for you. Thank you for your patience with me. I know I seem to have like this burst of productivity where I give you loads of stuff, I have loads to share, and then I have like a little silent hermit period where I'm making things. This is usually because I have a little bit of like perfectionism. I want it to be complete, for it to be finished, for it to be perfectly themed or like very relevant. But I'm just not consistent like that, which is why I've made this video a little bit more chatty. It's not just straight into the journaling, here's the structure, 1, 2, 3 techniques for collecting ephemera, let's go by. I want to be able to chat to you about things a little bit more and maybe share things with you that aren't completely finished or perfected or polished. So if you like my ramblings, then you're in luck, because there's going to be more of them. And if you don't, I won't be offended if you just skip to the part where I'm not chatting. But I think it's nice for us to sometimes just have a little cozy drink, have a little chat together. I want to share my journaling with you, but I also want to share my life with you a bit more and just be able to have a bit more of a chat with you, because I realise that all of my favourite YouTubers, the people that I like to watch, it's like this, like they're just talking to me. It feels like I'm on FaceTime to my friend, and like they talk about their journaling, but they also talk about their life, and I've been really enjoying those. So if even one person can enjoy me chatting to you like this, like I enjoy them chatting to me, then that will make me very happy. So I'm going to continue sharing my journaling with you, but I'm also going to kind of do a little bit more of this like vlog style chatting to you as well. I hope that's okay with you. Thank you so much for being here, thank you for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another video. In the meantime, if you'd like to hear more from me, you can check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Kia Creates, and that's where I'm sharing some more little creative insights into my process. I uploaded a little flip through of my January-February journal on there. I have some little creative prompt printables to share with you on there, sticker kits that I make and send out each month. I have some fun tier updates coming later in the year as well, so it's a really good place to be if you'd like to be part of my creative community. And there are multiple options for tiers, so if you can't pledge at the moment, there is a free tier where you get access to some good stuff as well, so you can just kind of join that like you would following someone on social media, but you'll actually see what I make instead of just seeing random stuff the algorithm shows you. So that is a really good place to be if you want to hear more from me. So whether I see you there or not, hopefully I'll see you back here for the next video, and in the meantime, happy journaling, bye!